Mormonism, faith, or cult? The truth they don't want you to know. Welcome, everybody. Today we will dive into the world of Mormonism. Is it just another religion, or is there something more to it? Let's find out. Today we'll be diving into the guy, the myth, the legend, Joseph Smith, and how a teenage treasure hunter basically founded a whole religion. Yeah. So now let's rewind to the early 1800s. Picture this. America is still kind of figuring itself out. Everyone's farming, wearing old-timey pants, and getting hyped about religion like it's a TikTok trend. Now, enter Joseph Smith, a 14-year-old kid from New York, and one day my guy goes to the woods to pray, like on some real main character energy, and he claims that he saw both God and Jesus, not one, but the both of them, at the same time. First red flag, cause the Bible in Exodus 33 verse 20 says, "And he said, Thou cannot see my face, for there shall no man see me and live." So now I'm thinking, what's so special about Joseph Smith? Because even Moses couldn't even bear God's glory. Also, in John 1 verse 18, it reads that no one has ever seen God but the one and only Son who is himself God and is in the closest relationship with the Father has made him known. The Bible clearly states that no one has ever seen the Father, so their ground for belief is questionable. So the big men upstairs and Jesus look at Joseph and they were like, yo, all these churches are mid. Don't join any of them because you're up next. So fast forward a few years later, and Joseph claims that he saw an angel called Moroni, and the angel told him about some golden plates buried in a hill. Magical, ancient, and conveniently in his backyard. And of course, Joseph digs them up with the help of a rock in a hat. Yeah, not Google Translate, not Duolingo, a rock in a hat that somehow translates this ancient language called Reform Egyptian into English. Now, Joseph starts translating, and bam! The Book of Mormon is born. It's like the spiritual sequence to the Bible. Whole new continent, new prophets, and Jesus making a cameo in the Americas. It's totally wild. And people really ate it up. Like Joseph is getting mad followers, he starts a church, and by the way, he's only 24. What were you doing when you were 24? Meanwhile, I'm struggling to remember my Google password. Okay, but now here's where things really start getting spicy. Joseph starts introducing new revelations, like plural marriages, aka many wives, secret handshakes, and building a whole city. Here's the kicker though. In Genesis 2 verse 24, it says that therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become flesh. Not three, not four, not five, but two. Now, not everyone was vibing with him. People accused him of being a fraud, a cult leader, and some even tried to cancel him 1800 styles, aka mobs and pitchforks. So, was Joseph Smith legit? Actually see God? Or was it the ultimate side quest gone too far? Now that's for you to decide. Okay, now let's talk about their rules. And they're really interesting. Let's start off with their underwear. Yeah, you heard me. Not your Mr. Price or boxers or woolly underwears, but actual religious garments. Once a Mormon member has gone through the temple ceremony, they wear this holy underwear underneath their clothes every day. It's called temple garments and it's supposed to remind you of your spiritual promises. Yes, which means even if you're going to ShopRite to buy bread and nakama, you still must wear them. Now, people say these garments offer spiritual protection, kinda like armor, but soft and cottony. The thing is, you're not supposed to show them off or even talk about them too much. So, in reality, you won't see anyone flexing their holy two-piece on TikTok if you catch my drift. Now, drinks. This is where a lot of South Africans say, Aish, I could never. Mormons have something called the Word of Wisdom, a health code from way back in the 1800s. It says no coffee, no tea, no alcohol. No, like no cappuccino, no five roses, and no savan. That's 80% of South African population gone right there. Now imagine pulling up to a mug and bean and ordering water. That's why I think we don't have a large following of Mormons here in South Africa. Oh, and don't forget, no energy drinks. Or basically anything with caffeine in it. So yeah, no Red Bull, no Monster, no KFC Crusher, just you and your blessed H2O. And now the secret. Mormons have temple ceremonies that are very private. They have secret handshakes, code words, and even have specific temple clothing that kinda looks like something from a biblical cosplay event. No shade, but it's super sacred to them. But now the thing is, outsiders aren't allowed inside unless you have gone through all the steps. It's like being invited to a VIP party but then you need to get baptized, pay tithing, pass interviews, and basically prove that you're in it for life. And remember, yeah, so sharp. Let's chat about the actual book, the Book of Mormon. This thing. It's like their Holy Bible remix, but with a whole new storyline, plot twist that would make Netflix writers cry. So the story goes like this. So there were ancient people just chilling in Jerusalem, and this one guy called Lehi is told by God, Brie, grab your family and dip. You're moving overseas. So my guy packs up, hops on a boat, no compass, no GPS, nothing, and lands in the Americas. Like, first of all, how? It's not like they had Uber boats in those days. And second, man sailed across the seas before Google Maps was even a thing. That's some serious faith or a serious imagination. So now you have his fam starting two big groups, the Nephites and the Lamanites. So think of it as a never-ending turf war. These two are fighting more than Kaiser Chiefs and Orlando Pirates on Derby Day. So now they build cities, they have prophets, and they're visited by angels. And then, plot twist, Jesus pulls up in the Americas after his resurrection. Like, no joke. He rocks up, drops some bars of wisdom, he blesses the people, and then he dips. Verse 51 of Luke 24 says, while he was blessing them, now I feel like that's something that should have been added in the Bible because in verse 51 of Luke 24 says, while he was blessing them, he left them and was taken up into heaven. I feel like if Jesus did go to the Americas, it would have been mentioned in the Bible. So that is the second red flag. But now here's where the brain starts itching. Where is the proof? Like archaeologists have been digging all over the place and like, nah, we're not finding anything here. No Nephite swords or Lamanite ruins. Nada, zero, zilch. Even historians are scratching their head. It's like someone saying there used to be a McDonald's in the middle of the Karoo, but no one ever saw it. There's no wrapper, no ketchup stain, nothing. You'd be asking questions, right? But still, the members believe it like it's the real deal. Some are even deep in it, learning ancient language and everything, and I respect that. If that's your vibe, cool. But we're talking straight up history, and your things aren't making any sense. Okay, so apart from that, where does the money go? Are they honest? So let's not beat around the bush. This church has mad cash. I'm talking about generational wealth. Now, Mormons don't pass the offering plate every Sunday like most churches. No, they have this thing called tithing. Basically, you give 10% of your income. For example, if you have 10,000 Rand, you give 1,000 Rand. This is a biblical practice. Whether you're a billionaire or a broke student trying to survive off 2 minute noodles, if you're making an income and you're a Mormon member, you always pay tithe. No skipping, no excuses. But now here's the plot twist. The church doesn't really give out any details on where the money goes. It's always giving that one friend money and they say, don't worry about it, I'll pay you back. But you never see a receipt or hear what it was used for. Turns out in 2019, someone snitched. A whistleblower leaked that the Mormon church has over $100 billion investment fund. And guess what? It wasn't used for charity or helping people. It was just sitting there like a Dragon Ball villain, waiting. At this point, that isn't money. That's a treasure chest. But anyways, how did the church respond to these allegations? They said that they were saving it for a rainy day, which is fair. But like, how rainy is this day thing for? Like Noah Ark level, flat in Jersey. Like, come on. But then, to be fair, they really do some good stuff. They build temples, they fund missionaries, and they help disasters. But the real question is, why the silence? Why not just show people where their tithe is going? Transparency costs nothing, most. Now look, if I was giving 10% of my paycheck, I would like to know where it's going. If it's either going to build a temple, help missionaries, or buy shares in Woolies. And the craziest part is, in South Africa, we have people here who are hustling to make ends meet. There's load shedding. Prices of taxis are going up. Bread costs you an arm and a leg. But you still have people who are giving faithfully every month because they believe in the cause. And that's real. That's loyalty. So the least the church can do is just be honest. Now that's a wrap, fam. Now that you have the lowdown on what this church is really all about, I'd like to know from you, would you ever join this congregation or bounce? Does the vibe speak to you or not? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you want to see more fire content like this. And now don't forget to subscribe. Also, I have the Book of Mormon with me, and I will be making a review video on it, book by book, until I do finish the book so that I can get an understanding to like what the Book of Mormon really is. And then I will have elders from the church come over, answer a few questions that I will have, and drop that conversation here on YouTube. Be in the watch out for that. Anyways, stay blessed, stay curious. This is Tommy Tales signing out.